know, good to be here. I mean, you know, God is good, and it's good to always good to see a man like you.
Right, right. Well, this is a big year on Montserrat for festival. It's the 50th anniversary of festival. You've been involved with festival on many levels for a long time. Talk to me about that.
Well,
what are some of your earliest memories of festival?
festival for me has gone back to as far back as I can remember, as I was from the time I was old enough to go to town. Or even before then, because my mother used to, my mommy used to take us to town in Christmas. You know, Christmas Fun Festival. Is not, I mean, when we say Christmas, when we talk about festival, we talk about Christmas. You know,
there is no line between festival and Christmas.
No, at the same son.
Seriously.
Yeah. So you know, I've been involved at a very early age in the looking on process. And then later, as we got older, got started to really get involved with cultural activity and with groups, children club and AYP and groups of that nature. And then that prompted me to really take part in hands-on, you know, getting involved with troops and groups and playing mass and playing band and. You know, and then at a later later in life when I got older, and then I started to get involved with groups like Emerald Community Singers.
Okay.
And Montserrat Theatre Group. Then it got to still a different level. But throughout my entire life, I mean, I've been involved in cultural activity at some level.
Right.
And that subsequently led me to be hands-on in to be involved in festival.
Okay, well let's talk a little bit about early festival. Well, tell me specifically some of the things you remember, you know, early on about festival.
Festival, you know, during the time when festival was really sweet to me was when we had the the masquerade used to be really and still is a very integral part of festival, because you know, masquerade. Montserrat, I believe that masquerade is indigenous to Montserrat. I mean, I don't know if that's a fair statement, but
right.
I mean, that's how I feel. And then also, you know, we had like, you know, the John Bull, the Miss Goosey, you know, these were even more important to me than the group troops, you know, because before we were able to go to town to experience troop and group activity, festival came to our house, to our yard, in the form of masquerade, Miss Goosey, the Mountain Man, John Bull, and these are the things that really, those are the things that really jump out in front of me as the initial aspects of festival.
And these are things you used to look forward to? Look forward to,
because to me those were the highlights. The group activity really is, you know, is something different, because then individuals, you know, people decided to get involved with these groups and troops, and then that really also really lend a great highlighted what happened during the mass and the what should I say, the Boxing Day, because Boxing Day really means it was a competition of groups and troops.
Right.
But that was later on. Those things happened. That came late in the festival. But the things that really got the interest of most young individuals would be in the little individual aspects of the festival, where you had, you know, as I mentioned before, the Miss Goosey, the Mountain Man. This Mountain Man came out from somewhere, and he had a whole lot of beard, and the man got about 100 jacks for that.
Yeah.
You know, and to us it was petrifying, but at the same time, it was like a mystery, you know. Then John Bull used to come around, you know, with this crocus bag garb, with a long stick and trying to be some kind of devilish character that would used to scare the hell out of us. But at the same time, we look forward to those things. Then you have the little men who used to come around and play out, you know, the little string bands and so.
Right.
And you know, that used to really give you goose pimples, you know. Those are the things that really made festival.
And then, you know, the masquerade and
oh yeah, with the
I mean, you're free to do it, but you still want
yeah, you have to keep it, you just get out of the way.
Yeah.
And we used to save up every little 25, every little penny and help me to throw it, because you used to feel big. When you throw out some money there and they have to pick them up, you felt that you contributed greatly to
the cause.
The whole cause, yeah. You know. So the little things really that really made that's what cultivated the whole atmosphere of the festival.
Right. So how did you get into the costume making and that kind of
costume making came about when I got involved with the Trojan Club. That was my initial experience. I got involved with the Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, you know, had some real prominent people in there who, like Clifford Chewett, Jim Taylor, you know, Carol Chewett, Albert Greenaway, Idris Wade, you know, and we just took pride in making these costumes. Sometimes demanding of Boxing Day. As a matter of fact, sometimes I would just don the costume every time I put them on because it was always a race against time. And then too, what used to really make it very interesting is that we used to be a competition. Okay, you used to have joy promoters, and you had different groups used to vie for supremacy as far as
right.
But what used to make it very interesting is that Trojan Club, a group, the joy promoters, and I can't remember some of the names, but you had people like Jim Taylor and Joelene, and what used to happen is that whichever, even though it was a competition situation, whichever group finishes their costumes first used to come over to the other groups and help. Even though we are going up against each other, you know.
Right.
People used to come from one group to the next and help out. You know, sometimes we have individuals from other groups coming over and help. We spread glue and sequins and glitters, you know. So even though it was a competition, it was set up as a competition. There was still an interaction and camaraderie in the whole thing.
So where were you based at this time? Where was it?
That time I was living in Gages.
Right, but where was the costume building?
Oh, costume building. We had a few different venues. At one time we were down in the and Water Lane by the old Montserrat company building, where they used to make sweet oil and soap and so.
Okay, I remember that.
Right, we used to be there at one time. At one time we used to move around. At one time we used to be at the old cotton ginnery out there on Harney Street. And,
behind Ministry there?
Behind the old prison.
Right. By Ministry of Education.
Yeah. Right. And then at one time we used to be up at I think one time we actually used the Roman Catholic hall, the hall of the Roman Catholic. It used to be a matter of, you know, opportunity wherever the vibe was. And sometimes we used to do all that at Clifford's house in where was that? What street was that? Water Lane. So it used to be whatever lent itself to the situation. You know, Jim Taylor used to live at George Street, and we used to do a lot of preparation at his house also. So wherever the vibes be, we used to just you know, utilize different places.
Right. You know, like I said before, this year is the 50th anniversary. Clifford, talk to me about Clifford. Clifford is you know, long with
yeah. Clifford Chewett is. Every time I talk about cultural activity, I have no choice but to talk about Clifford Chewett, because you know what, that's the person who really got me interested in cultural activity, not necessarily by persuasion, you know, but by his undying love for Montserrat and Montserrat culture. And by then he was the president of Trojan Club. Veranius Molyneux is the one who really got me involved in the Trojan Club. And when I got there, I met all these people. But the kind of enthusiasm that and energy that Clifford brought to the whole atmosphere. It so happens that it was that was something that I was also interested in my subconscious mind.
Right.
Getting involved and knowingly that I had the ability to be a leadership of some to be a leader of some sort, you know, and so therefore that really cultivated in me the interest and also I can go further say the ability to be able to move in that direction. So the sky, it just gives you the assurance that the sky is the limit, and if there's something that you want to do, there's nothing that can stop you from doing it.
Right.
So that's where my interest really started, and then as I got involved in church groups, and it just kind of escalated from there, and then further the international groups like the Singers and the MTG Montserrat group. So it just grew.
Right.
It was like a mushroom, you know, that just, you know, just expanded.
Okay. Now about the Emerald Community Singers, group started by you know, Dr. Irish.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with them?
Well, I was not an initial member. I came to the group a year after it was formulated, and I don't even know how I got involved. I mean, I know that my love for music drew me somehow to the group, but if I cannot directly pinpoint how I got in there. I think it was a matter of like observing what was going on at one time, and then before I know it, I was basically drawn into the whole picture.
Okay.
I had the ability to play the guitar, you know, a little bit, and then after I got involved with the group, and I was exposed to George Allen, who is, you know, George Allen, cricketer George Allen. I think George Allen is probably one of the most accomplished musicians or guitarists that I've come across. I mean, this guy was so talented that I mean, I don't even think that Montserrat should realize how great a guitarist this guy was.
No, I don't think so, because people tend to remember him simply for cricket.
Yeah, but George was a better musician, a better guitarist than he was a cricketer.
Yeah. Most people don't know that. They don't remember that.
Yeah, but you see, in order for one to realize that, you would have to have first an interest in music,
right,
and also have a particular eye or a particular taste for guitar music. And this guy fascinated me. I mean, he actually taught me how to play progressions, because I'm a self-taught guitarist, really.
Right.
So when I got there, I was a freshman. I really didn't know about the guitar. I knew how to play a few chords, but for progressions and all these kind of things, I really was not somebody who you could call a guitarist. But my involvement with the singers, and even more directly, my involvement with George Allen. You know, this guy used to really school me, and he used to get really upset about something. You know, we show you something last week and you come back this week and you forget. This guy used to get really, really upset, you know what I mean? So really I developed a kind of discipline. Right. And I must make mention of my memory of those years and hanging around China.
Tell me about the musicians. Who were the musicians?
The musicians at one time had a really high-powered musical ensemble. You had well, you had from Cork, George Harper was the man playing string bass, one of the best I think that ever came out of Montserrat. And you had Dr. Spencer Perkins on keyboard. You had Wingrove White guitar, myself, George Allen, and myself, and James, my brother James. And you had Willie Kinney Garrow, percussion, and William Peters. Trini was also percussionist. And I think you had a few times we would bring in a few people when we had a
Donald Douglas was in it.
Donald Douglas, how could I forget Donald Douglas, ukulele man?
Right.
You know, and that and he was considered one of the highlights of the group, because with that ukulele, you know, he made waves. Then you had Dr. Irish used to play the flute, or I don't know what we would call that, the harmonic, the recorder, you know. And occasionally, I think there was one or two times when somebody, I think, did the harmonica. I think it was Dr. Irish himself, I don't remember. But, you know, we had a few incidentals apart from the regular, you know, string ensemble.
Right.
But, you know, the makeup, the group was wicked. I mean, it was a really well put together group.
Yeah, and you traveled around the Caribbean. Did you go on any trips with them?
Yes, we did, but I did not go to I did not go to Carifesta with the singers. The singers went to Carifesta, I think, on 3 or 4 occasions. Oh yeah, I went to one Carifesta that was in Cuba in 1979.
Okay.
But earlier, prior to that, I did not go to. At some point, even though I used to be a member of the group at different intervals, there were times when I used to jump out and jump in, you know, And it so happened that on 2 occasions when they went to Carifesta, I was not part of the group. But when they went to Barbados, I was not available at the time.
Okay.
And I was just missed the Guyana, when they went to Guyana, which was the first Carifesta, that I actually joined the group after that.
Right, because I think that was might have been in 72.
Yes, yes, 72.
Yeah.
But that the highlight of my travels with the group was in Carifesta in 79 in Cuba, when up to this day, I think that's the most breathtaking trip that I've ever made out of Montserrat, you know. And we really did good. We did extremely well, because even though the group was not in its full strength at the time, because a few primary people, members of the group were not able to go or not able to be there, we still have made rave reviews in Havana, you know. But that really was a very good experience for me.
Right. So you also taught music, and I know you were helping out some of the calypsoans and so.
Well,
tell me about that.
I taught quite a few people. Well, I at that time I did not really see it as being, as I did not look at it as in the teaching. I didn't look at it as teaching. I exposed a lot of folks, young fellows, young people to guitar music, and I showed them what little I knew, both boys and girls, and actually some of them today turned out to be much better guitarists than I am,
right?
Which I am grateful for. I like to be able to show people, to show anyone the skill. To share the skills that I have with anyone.
Right.
Also, I would, I think that one of the first ever junior calypso competitions that came out of Montserrat, I had the opportunity of being a part of it, you know, and that happened at Plymouth Primary School, and I can't remember the exact year, but I know definitely that was the first time that we had an organized junior calypso competition in Montserrat.
Right.
And in that, out of that group, came some of the people who, some of the artists that eventually became Calypso King in Montserrat. We had Sipiki was in the group. Hustler was in the group. You had Terra. You had Boogie. I mean, and there was Vernie Maynard. Soca man, you know. And we had one young girl, two young girls in there. We had Ernestine Mead, who is, I think, who is now a teacher in Montserrat. And Ernestine was very good. And you also had Glenda. I don't remember Glenda's last name, but I think that Flabberdabbs is her father. But it was a very competitive arena, and these children were really good. And I might add, even though that I like to be able to coach people in writing. I don't believe in writing for people. I believe that it is good for you to bring your idea, and then I will assist you in creating, developing your idea. Your forum, your idea. You know, I will help you with melody and arrangement. But don't come to me and tell me write a song for you, because I can't write a song for you. I don't know what you want to sing about. Right. You got to bring me your idea. Bring me your idea. Bring me some kind of. Give me something to work with, and we can work with it together. Right. That was true of most of these people. I mean, I assisted them in putting, and these calypsos were wicked calypsos that could have competed on any stage, any arena. You know, the unfortunate thing about us in Montserrat is that I think that Montserrat calypsonians at any level write some of the best calypso music. But because of our limited exposure, our limited resources, and the lack of assistance, I mean, I don't want to really elaborate on that, because that could probably create another situation. But because of that, we don't get very far. You know, quite one or two might slip through the cracks. You know, you know, because of the resources, or because of the assistance that they might be getting, or maybe family background, or whatever the case might be. But some of the best calypsos that I've heard coming out of the Caribbean were written by Montserratians. Right. But they got to as far as this stage, and that's as far as they go. So that is one of the reasons why, you know, we've been handicapped, you know, to a certain extent. But I believe that, you know, people have the ability to write and to create. Right. And I've heard some real good creations, you know, and I was able to assist some of these folks. When Hustler sang his first song in Storage Park, his name was Bingo. Did not remember that. And that name, the song that he came out with was Sugarcane. And you know, we worked on it for a long period, for quite some time in my little workshop up in Gages. And a few times me had to slap Hustler across the head to keep him on, to focus and to keep him on key. Because Hustler was not really he was not really serious, you know. And I said, listen, don't waste my time. They had to slap him up a few times and get him to really understand, hey, this is serious business. Right. But you know, when I left Montserrat in '87, I said to him, Hustler, if you stay on this track, of course, Hustler got involved with other folks and other professionals who helped him along the way. I'm not claiming credit by any means for Hustler's success. I'm only glad that I was in his arena in the initial stages, and to put him in the right direction. He since gotten involved, and I think he had some interplay with Hero, and he worked with Franklin, Michael, and different people. And he then got to the stage where he could really develop professionalism. And I assured him when I left Montserrat, I said, listen, if you stay on track, one day you would wear that crown. And it happened, you know what I mean? Right, we did.
So, this is Montserrat culture, we'll be proud of it forever. This is Montserrat culture, we'll be proud of it forever.
us will be going home to Montserrat for festival. I'm not ruling out the possibility of me going down there for a few days. But you know, even though I believe in festival, I'm not a festival man. I'm a cultural man.
Mm-hmm.
So my going back to Montserrat usually happens around St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Where the emphasis is mostly on the cultural aspect and not necessarily on the festivity.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as I say, I don't rule out the possibility of going into Montserrat to really just to be a part of the experience.
Right. I mean, 58 is a once in a lifetime thing.
But in the event that, you know, whatever happens, since that most of us, a lot of us will be going home, I just want to sing these few words that will be relevant to the occasion. This is one of my prized possessions. A song that I wrote in '79 that was eventually made popular by Gus White. The theme song for the popular play Coming Home to Roost by David Edgecombe.
Mm-hmm.
So long away from home, what a joy to be back, leaving the full season lands for sweet Montserrat in the Caribbean. Once again to be with my family means much more than all the world to me. Yes, I'm coming home to you. Got no time to lose, to be with my dear one, to be with my loved ones. Oh yeah, what a joy to be coming home to you. What a joy to be coming home to you. Had my fill of city lights, busy cars and passing trains, yeah. Hustling to work, then to school, with no time at all to play the fool. With my nerves endlessly on edge, oh Lord, I really had to make this pledge that I'm coming home to you. Got no time to lose, to be with my dear ones, to be with my loved ones. Oh yeah, what a joy to be coming home to you. Life is full of ups and downs, and the road is rough and rugged. So many kinds of oppression, disgust, bitterness, and frustration. Yeah, and no man can handle it alone. Oh no, so that's why I'm headed for my home. Yes, I'm coming home to roost. Got no time to lose, to be with my dear ones, to be with my loved ones. coming home to. What a joy to be coming home to. What a joy to be coming home to.
Brilliant stuff, Al. And you wrote that when?
I wrote that in, I started it in, well actually it was, I think it was about 80, it was about 78 when we were getting ready to do the play, Coming Home to Roost, and we had an undertaking, the cast, to put the words together. Actually, the cast was responsible, was instrumental in helping to put the words together, but the music was penned by myself.
Okay.
You know, but we all got together and put ideas together and came up with the lyrics for that song. You know, the whole cast members of the group. I took the lyrics home, and one night we got this music together. It was really an undertaking, and you know, it was just something that gave me it still gives me a good feeling up to today.
It's nice. I love it. So listen, you know, we were talking about Emerald Community Singers and stuff earlier.
Yeah, what was that song that we said we were going to do?
You know, just play something for me there. What's that song? What's that one about Neddy? You know that?
Neddy Food.
Yeah, okay. Give me.
Are you let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. Are you let go, Neddy? Are you let go, Neddy? Let me start right here. Before I even go any further, I think this song, you know, in the old days, they used to have it when them say that woman used to tie man. I think this song has something to do with that. I think that here's Neddy's family pleading to his abductors, quote unquote, to release the man so he come back home to the people, because I guess he get into some situation where he go and eat something and that it entrapped him. So here they tell him, Lego Neddy, because Neddy food home is sour.
So you mean another jail Neddy be?
Pardon me?
Another jail there?
Me not think, no man,
oh, okay.
Jail business, not on the jail business.
So
somebody can't.
I think I die.
No,
me say Neddy in the jail.
Somebody can, no, jail business bad. You see when you say, are you Lego, you know? Are you Lego, 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 are you Lego, Neddy? Are you Lego, Neddy? Are you Lego, Neddy? Are you Lego, Neddy? Neddy food and sour, Neddy food and sour, Neddy food and sour, Neddy food and sour. Are you Lego, Neddy? Mary better come down, Mary better come down, Mary better come down, she come down from the bright side. Are you Lego, 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 Lego? Are you Lego, Neddy? Neddy food and sour, Neddy food and sour, Neddy food and sour. Are you go look for Neddy?
No, somebody give Neddy some good food
Neddy
somewhere
get
else.
this mix up right there. I don't know. This and just to tap it off, you know, this is a song that is near and dear. I'm not gonna do the entire song, but I'm gonna do one or two verses. People think it is wrong when I talk like a Stratian. They say it's not right grammatically. They can't find them words in no dictionary. Calling it bad language, despising we heritage. Yeah, I don't care who may say that I'm stupid. This is Montserrat English. You give me the before you are here today. And don't give me come up. That's the Montserrat way. I look ya, and I cook a walk. You know here. Oh Lord have mercy. This is Montserrat culture. We'll be proud of it forever. This is Montserrat culture. We'll be proud of it. Kudos to the great Arrow, man. One of the greatest calypsonians the world ever see.
You know, and it's one of the things that I'm really, really proud of is my Montserrat language boy.
What? You can't beat that.
No, seriously.
You say,
love the dialect.
Especially when you go to, come sister, fetch me the po. Me have one pain na me belly, ya so. This is Montserrat culture. We'll be proud of it forever. This is Montserrat culture. We'll be proud of it forever. You say,
yeah.
Mommy, you look here, ya. That means you feel surprised. Move and then the story end. That means you telling lies. You never hear that from no Jamaican. This is Montserrat culture. They say,
hand them give me. Yeah, hand them give me and take them up.
Pan me cook a walk, yeah. You never hear that from no Jamaican. This is Montserrat culture. We'll be proud of it forever. This is Montserrat culture. We'll be proud of it forever. The voice you said?
Wait, hand them give me.
Hand them give me. Take them up. I can't even. You know, I'm going to have to study the song in its entirety and really make it a forum because it's a song that really should be played more.
Yeah. Often. Well, the next time we come over,
yeah, man, I'm going to have it together.
We'll do the whole song.
This is right now we're just messing around. This is not even something that we planned. This is an impromptu situation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So hit me another tune that you like.
Okay. But you know, in everything we still have to give God thanks. So you know, we're gonna go out with this song because you know that's going on. You know, and in light of the recent developments in Montserrat with the unrest of certain amount of things happening that we're not really accustomed to. You know.
Right.
I mean, we've had 2 incidents of murder in 1 year. I mean, in Montserrat, in all my life. Growing up in Montserrat, we've never been exposed to that kind of atmosphere. I mean, in my 35 years of living in Montserrat, we probably had murder coming to the table maybe 4 or 5 times.
But I can remember one when we grew up there.
And so, you know, it is really something that is very troubling to me. And then also, we've had this recent plane crash that is not necessarily was not necessarily in Montserrat, but in some way affiliated. So, in all this stuff, we still and all these things, we still have to be mindful of the fact that there is a greater force. There's a greater force than us, and we have to be mindful of the fact that whatever you do, whatever you say, you have to pay homage to the Almighty. Because without Him, we're not gonna wear. God is the greatest of all. Believe and you will never fall. Just call on the Lord. In the morning He makes the sun come out to shine, moon and the stars to give us light throughout the night. He's making it possible for us to feel and to know the sign. Just call on the Lord. God is the giving one, the living one, the loving one, the mighty one, the one who will guide you on your way. He is the teaching one, the forgiving one, the blessed one to everyone. My God, He's the greatest of all. So all you gotta do Just give to Him your praises every day. His love is all you would need to guide you the right way. And you don't have to care what anyone may say if you just call on the Lord. God is in front of you, beside of you, behind of you. Put Him inside of you and live the way He wants you to. He will inspire you when you are new. God will retire you when time is due. He is the greatest of all. He is the greatest of all. Believe and you will never fall. Just call. Just call. Without Jah, you're not gonna win.
No, at all.
All right.
Until